Shalom. May Shalom Ha. Welcome to the cartel versus the government. You see what I say? Welcome to Karmicville. We got 888 here, right? So, this ain't gonna be brief, right? We got a lot of shit on the floor, right? So bear with me, right? As you can see, we got the world out here, right? The world is usually completion, right? Success to the end of a cycle, right? But as you can see, right? We got Mincho here. This is the leader. You see what I say? As you can see, Mincho is in the reverse. He's flipped, right? Now, to be clear, right? When we're speaking of Mincho, right? He got hit in the crib, right? They sent 556 through the crib, right? He fell dead on the floor alone, right? You see what I say? Now, the next card out, right? We got the Knight of Cups, which is a proposal, an offer, right? A gesture, right? Which Mincho made a call over the phone to tell him to back the fuck off, right? As you can see, the proposal is in the reverse. They didn't take that proposal, right? So we got the Knight of Wands with speed in action, right? So with speed in action, right, this card can go two ways because it's fire, right? It also shows movement. You see what I say, right? So with this proposal being rejected, right, they rushed the crib, right? Send shots through the house. You see what I say? They took speed in action, speed in movement, right? So this is forward action, forward movement. You see what I say, right? So the next card we got here was fun and socializing. This is also a proposal, right? When it comes to material wealth. So this is pentacles, this is earthly, this is money. You see what I say? This also clarifies the offer, right? With the Page of Pentacles being here, right? Mincho made an offer over the phone, right? Telling them to tell their dogs to back the fuck off, right? He already paid them, right? Which shows them getting a piece of the enterprise. Right here with the Eight of Pentacles, right? And the partnership being in the reverse, right? That clarifies the rejection. They broke partnership, right? And it impacted their material comfort with this Nine of Pentacles being here. You see what I say? So not only was there stability rock behind Mincho's death, right? Also the material comfort, right? Being as though they paid Pentacles for them to back the fuck off, right? And they didn't, showing the Two of Wands, which shows the partnership in the reverse, right? Them trying to balance the situation, right? Here we have the Two of Swords, right? Which shows halting action, right? Being at a stalemate, being at a crossroad. Now, as you can see, the 556 right here, which hints what Mincho got hit with, right? So you got to get the picture with me tonight, right? Which kind of caused their departure, right? Forcing them to recover, right? Now, what the government don't know, they killed one of them. A new dawn is born, right? Here's a new beginning for them, right? Here's a new dawn in play, right? You can't kill one of them, right? They're infinite, right? This war is everlasting with the government and the cartel because it's internal. You see what I say? So it's a new dawn analyzing the situation, right? In isolation, right? As you can see, the light is flashing, right? Near his head, right? Resting in recovery, figuring a way to rejuvenate, right? So here's their new dawn right here, right? That's analyzing the situation, trying to figure out a way to recoup from the situation. You see what I say with the Four of Swords, right? So here's the birth of a new dawn, right? You can't kill one and think that's the end of the road for them. Never, right? They analyzing the situation, right? Now here you have the devil, right? Toxic ways, toxic attachments, right? Which they're attached to somebody that's in the Seven of Cups, right? Roadblocks, illusions, choices at the extreme, which here you have here Claudia, right? The Mexican president here, right? A creative leader, right? That's having choices at the extreme because she's tied to the demons, the devils, right? Well, that's how she look at them. That's how they look at them, right? She's tied to them, right? She's tied to the cartel, right? They got toxic ways, toxic habits, and a partnership together, right? To keep the satanic order on the street going, right? So not only is death attached to Claudia, right? But the devil is too. That's bondage, right? So what do we have here, right? Is she a target, right? Because I'm seeing Two of Cups as well, right? Partnership, right? I'm seeing something being handed off, right? Of course, they in bed together, right? They got a partnership. We got 222 here. They collaborate together. You see what I say? They create together, right? They keep the satanic order on the street going, right? So we got money coming in. Is in a reverse, right? This could be why Claudia is in the Seven of Cups, right? Choices at the extreme. Illusions, right? Not knowing where to go. Roadblocks. You see what I say? Because the partnership's been fucked up, right? The trust has been fucked up, right? There's been some betrayal here. Total ending. Backstabbing. You see what I say? The ultimate betrayal. Also an ending to a cycle with another 10, right? So the cooperation of this teamwork is in shambles. So now we have the Emperor, right? Which could be a political figure, right? After this ultimate betrayal, this backstabbing, right? Who's sure what's gonna happen to Claudia, right? Because she got the devil attached to her, right? And death, right? What goes around comes around. So we'll see. She might be a target, right? Nothing's off limits for the cartel. You see what I say? Once you break they trust, you done broke it all, right? The ultimate betrayal, the ultimate backstabbing, right? Now we have an authoritative figure that needs to take control over a situation, right? But is this government? Is this a political figure, right? Or is this the new dawn that's been birthed, right? Because of this crisis, right? Breakdown of illumination, rock foundation, right? Hence double tower, right? Double crisis. You see what I say, right? Now who shares the tower is the emperor, right? And another charismatic person, right? Which could be a political leader, right? Which could be somebody next in line in power, right? That's death is near, right? During a crisis, death is near, right? After a crisis, this is a major transformation and change that was forced, heavily forced, right? 2 towers have fallen, right? And it look like somebody's trying to gain control over a situation. Now, is this the political figure? Now, is this the Don? Who knows just yet? But I'm seeing a political figure here, right? I'm seeing the political figure here, right? Looks like death, transformation, and change. Somebody might get called the fuck up. Judgment is here. The trumpets has been blown, right? It's 10, 10, 10 here. It's 8, 8, 8 here. This is a karmic cycle. You see what I say? So not only is death attached to Claudia, right? But the devil is too. That's bondage, right? So what do we have here, right? Is she a target, right? Because I'm seeing 2 of cups as well, right? Partnership, right? I'm seeing something being handed off, right? Cool. Of course, they in bed together, right? They got a partnership. We got 222 here. They collaborate together. You see what I say? They create together, right? They keep the satanic order on the street going, right? So we got money coming and it's in a reverse, right? This could be why Claudia is in the 7 of cups, right? Choices at the extreme. Illusions, right? Not knowing where to go, roadblocks, you see what I say? Because the partnership's been fucked up, right? The trust has been fucked up, right? There's been some betrayal here, total ending, backstabbing, you see what I say? The ultimate betrayal, also an ending to a cycle with another 10, right? So the cooperation of this teamwork is in shambles. So my estimate being is, though, the devil and death is attached to Claudia here, right? The Mexican president, right? And her fucking over this partnership and what they got, right? Her being in the 7 of cups with these roadblocks and choices of the extreme, having to try to figure something the fuck out, right? After this ultimate betrayal or after her total ending, right? Right? Because I'm seeing the exchange of something, right? We also seeing money coming in, right? Money's dangling, but it's in the reverse, right? Being as though the cartel could be bleeding out Claudia right now, right? Making them kick out offers, right? Or cause hell with these towers. Keep blowing up buildings. You see what I say? Next is their buildings. You see what I say? Why they in them, right? So death is here. Death is near, right? Judgment is too. The trumpets has been blown, right? Somebody's getting called up, right? They already have. Mencho's flipped here. You see what I say? Once again, to the birth of a new dawn, because we have new beginnings here, right? This is new beginnings and everything. You can't kill one cartel member and think that's it. Fuck no, they come by the millions. Fuck is wrong with y'all, right? He's analyzing, right? He's been a next in line for a while, right? He's trying to recover from this situation, right? So for sure, it looks like they're going to gain control and hit back, right? Death is near, right? Judgment's here. Somebody's going to get called the fuck up because Mencho's been flipped, right? After a proposal, after already offering, right? Paying, right? For them to back the fuck off, right? They broke offer, they broke contract, they sped in, right? Rushed the crib, right? After he didn't already pay, gave him a piece of his enterprise, they broke the partnership, right? Fucked up their material comfort. 9 is here twice, so this is earth. They shook up their whole earth. So my prediction is, right, in the near future, political figures getting hit. In the near future, political figures getting flipped. You see what I say? Claudia is here. She got the devil attached to her and death.